It is a Wednesday. We can do this a hump day at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. The sun's out. Snow's melting. It's a beautiful day in the Mile High City. And why not? Can brewers cook? That's what we're going to talk about with our friends here. Ryan Evans from Bruz Beers. Dave Olson. Good to see you guys.
Cheers, Greg.
Sir?
How are you
Cheers,
doing?
cheers.
Okay, it's not a bad day when you have food and beer.
Yes.
I'm just going to start right
great
there.
day.
Every day should
I mean,
be
that's
that
every
way.
day, really. Yeah.
That's the world we live in.
My favorite brewery right here. Not in Denver. Not in Colorado. The world.
Nice.
Bruz Beers.
We'll take it.
And you know why? I mean, great quality beer ingredients, but people with passion. That's what I love, is to talk to people with passion.
Yeah, we're passionate about Belgians. That's all we do, Belgian-style beers. And speaking of that, you want a beer?
Yes, you can't start cooking unless you have a beer, and it's Wednesday too, right? I mean,
Pick you out a good beer here.
they call it Hump Day for a reason. So thank you guys for tuning in on this Wednesday. What can we expect? What are we going to go over? We're going to go over a lot of stuff, but collaborations are big, and I know we do a lot of local collaborations, but worldwide collaborations. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we
do.
just did a collaboration we're going to be talking about here
Cheers, sir.
soon that we went and partnered with a brewery in Belgium and created a real special beer we'll be tasting here later in the show. So we're pretty excited about that, talk about that, and share a little bit from the motherland of beer, Belgium.
What did we pour here?
This is Gnome Boy, Belgian specialty ale. One of our favorites. Got some good spice to it, light in color, strong in alcohol, and that's kind of the way we like them at Bruz.
Where do you come up with the names?
You know, we sit around and talk about it. And
I mean, come on,
some of these kinda
Gnome
take
Boy, you were a couple beers in. Do you drink the beer first?
we drink it and usually kind of decide, hey, this is definitely, we got Hellraiser. Obviously, that one does something to you.
Everybody has to drink at the same
Always
time.
drink at
the
the
So
smell
good,
of
though.
the drink.
Otherwise
Okay, we're
not.
also going to cook today. Now, do you have a passion for cooking, guys?
Yeah, I think we both do quite a bit of cooking. Dave does a lot more baking than I do,
Yeah.
that's for sure. But food is, I think, important to both of us.
Totally. Yeah. It's newer for me. I do a lot more now than I used to. But baker, brewer, those two kind of go hand in hand, and so picking up baking was very easy for me as a brewer. So
I mean, amen, because listen, recipes, right?
Yeah.
Developing recipes, tastes.
Yep.
how you
Fermentation.
I love it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you guys dream up for today?
Oh, a classic Belgian meal. When you go over there and travel with us, which you all need to do soon anyway.
We're going to
go
talk
over
about
every
that
year.
as well.
So you'll see this meal all across Belgium. It's mussels and frites with an Andalous sauce. So just classic Belgian mussel recipe that we'll be using our own beer with, followed by fries, frites as they're called over there, and a special sauce that the Belgians like to dip them in. And then, of course, Dave made some unbelievable sourdough bread for this as well.
You made that bread?
I made that bread.
Oh, my God, that looks fantastic.
Thank you.
That looks so good. I'm a sucker for sourdough.
As am I.
We're going to cook up some stuff for you. Mussels. So where do the Belgians get their mussels from?
They're prevalent over there. So they're between the mussels, and then they say the country's bird is frites. So between those two, you'll find them anywhere and everywhere, from stands and little shops along the walkways to fine restaurants. You'll find this meal in everything in between. So it's kind of a fun meal. You can get fancy and go to a white tablecloth dinner and get this meal, or you can just eat it on the go on the sidewalk, which is the way I usually do it.
So mussels, is there something with beer and mussels? What do I need to know about that?
It just balances the meal real well. The pHs work well with the beer and the acids, and then you get into the mussels, and then what we add with some butter and some mustard. Mustard is very popular over there, and it just all starts to lend towards a great meal. But you got to have it with the bread, right? You dip the bread into the sauce, and then it always comes with fries. So like this whole combo, you just kind of are mixing and matching the whole time. It's good.
Yes.
So I think the goal here was the collab beer that we're going to talk about later.
Okay.
Is an acidic beer. It's a sour beer, or it's a blend of a Petite Saison, which is a beer that we made, and a Flanders Red Ale from Omer Vendegenst.
Your what hurts?
Omer Vendegenst.
It's a person, right?
It's a person, and it's also a brewery. Yeah.
And
so So we blended their Flanders Red Ale, Cuvée des Jacobins, and this is the Prestige, which is one of their elite versions of their red ale. We blended that with our Petite Saison, and we think that acidity and then the Petite Saison has a little bit of a hot bite to it, and those two things balance together so well, and that will go well with the mussels and the frites, and the grease from the frites, the oil from the frites will go balance well with the acidity from that beer. So I'm
so not mad at
you,
Dave.
It's going to be a little journey.
Let's do this. We do have a little video from Omar Vanderginst. Omar Vanderginst. He's a real guy. Set this up. There's a brewery that you collaborated with. Talk about this brewery. We'll play this clip. You'll love this. Then we'll come back. We'll do some cooking with you. That's what it's all about. I love that brewers have the passion for food as well, and we're going to bring it all together. But wait until you see this video. Set it up, Ryan.
Yeah, so originally we were supposed to go over there and pick out our food or a beer to make this beer.
Now, when you say go over there, we got to go a little slow. Every single year.
Yeah, we take a group of our customers. Anyone who follows us and is fans of ours can join in on this group that we take people over to Belgium every year. We take them on a 10-day tour. You eat, drink, and talk to people and go across Belgium for 10 days, and it's a magical, magical treat. And so this last October, we were supposed to go. We were going to go over to Omar Vandergens and pick out our fooder and then bring that beer back and make this beer. Then COVID hit. Then the trip got canceled, and we said, well, we don't want to give up on this collaboration.
You could. You could have just said, all right,
been the easy route.
That's done, but you kept hunting.
No, we kept pushing, and they wanted to do something, and we wanted to do something with them. And so, the opportunity for a brewery like ours, a small brewery in Colorado that we only do Belgian styles, to be able to, link back to the motherland of beer, Belgium, and form that partnership was special. So we stuck with it. They had some of this beer on the eastern coast in the U.S. already imported. We said, we'll buy the whole lot. So we bought the whole lot, shipped it to our brewery in Denver, and this is the first of 3 beers that we're making with them. And this is the one that's ready to go right now. It's just came out last week.
That's passion. That's getting you the project done and the beer to you.
Yeah.
And I haven't tasted it yet, but we will.
Yes, we'll open it up after this one and
we're
start doing some cooking.
We're going to cook with it as well. Check out this short video, then we'll do a break. Then we'll come back. And right here in Studio Kitchen, Colorado, none better. Bruz Beers here. Ryan and Dave in the house. We're going to do some cooking. We're going to do a little eating, a little laughing, and a little scratching, a song and a dance, and
Don't forget drinking.
Some beer down your pants. Let's do it. All right, we'll be back in a flash. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Ah, de Jean, ça va?
C'est très voor vandaag.
...1892. In Greenwich discussiëren ze over welke tijd de tijd is. En in Luik rijdt er voor het eerst een vent naar Bastenaken. En terug, met de fiets. Maar in de straten van Belgium, vlakbij Kortrijk, doet dat er allemaal niet toe. Daar is een jongeman sowieso voor op zijn tijd. Hij gaat van café tot café. Gewapend met paard, kar en het beste bier dat hij ooit gebrouwen heeft. Zijn naam is Van der Ginste. Omer voor de vrienden. Als brouwer laat hij glasramen maken met zijn naam op. Bieren Omer van der Ginste. En hij doet ze cadeau aan de cafébazen. Is dat vreemd? Misschien wel. Is dat visionair? Absoluut. Want in 1900 is een glasraam wat vandaag een goed reclamefilmpje is. Een slimmerik dus. Maar vooral ook zuinig. Zo noemt hij zijn zoon ook Omer. Niet alleen omdat dat zo'n mooie naam is, wel omdat hij al denkt aan het moment dat zijn zoon zelf brouwer wordt. Dan heeft hij tenminste al glasramen met zijn naam erop. Gratis en voor niets. Meer dan 100 jaar en 5 generaties later blijft het brouwen en het bier een familieaangelegenheid. Net als de naam, want de eerste zoon van elke generatie heet nog steeds Omer. Stel je die familiefeesten voor. 1 keer Omer roepen en de hele tafel kijkt op. Op vandaag is de naam Omer synoniem voor een diepgewortelde traditie. Het bier is een ode aan het vakmanschap, de wilskracht en de vooruitstrevende ideeën van Bompa van der Ginste. En aan zijn zuinigheid natuurlijk. Omer, dat is traditional blond. Met veel smaak en nog meer traditie. Tijd om er een te drinken zeker? Goedemiddag. Gezondheid.
going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4 by Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Bruz Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head, and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Bruz location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
You're watching The Modern Eater, and now back to the show.
Welcome back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We have Mussels and Frites coming right up for you, and also talking about some collaboration beers with our friends from Bruz Beers. But talk about beer, man, here it is. The brewer wants your beer to taste like they intended it to taste. No funny stuff, right? If you own a bar or a restaurant, get your tap lines tuned up. That's what you have to do. So whether it's installs or maintenance, the man with the plan is Jeff Rourke. He's a family man, 20 years in the business, owner, operated. I'm telling you, he has so much experience, you'd be crazy not to use Jeff. He's forgotten more about installing draft lines than you'll ever know. Go with the experts. You know why? Because he's going to get the job done. Pouring inefficient beer, Jay, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Money counts right now. Don't pour your money down the drain. You got to be lean and mean. So whether it's the largest install that you do or maintenance or adding a line, beer, water, wine, nitro, coffee, kombucha, whatever your desire is, get a hold of Jeff Rourke. He'll take care of you. Here's his phone number, 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. Call the man up. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Here we go. Why not, guys? Let's do some food here. All right, set this up again.
Food.
Dave, you're going to do the cooking?
No. We are going to do the cooking.
Okay, what is that?
I'll do some chopping. We got some shallots here. I'll start chopping the shallots. We got to get those in the oil. Actually, let's get some oil on there and light this guy up, too.
Baker, brewer, and Ryan, just an all-around Renaissance man that loves eating food.
That's right. I love
just
food.
like I do. Anything special you did with the fries?
Yeah, so we already hand cut the fries, russet potatoes, wash them really well after you cut them, and then throw them in some cold water, several runs of that, pat them dry. Then we threw them in the fryer already at 300 degrees for about 5 to 7 minutes. Pull them out, let them cool. You got to double fry them. This is the Belgian
Look at Dan
style.
with the knife skills.
He's got
I'm just trying to show you right now. Dan's got the knife skills.
So Dave's going to do that.
Dave, damn it,
And then-
Dave. You put a beer in
You
me.
told me never.
I would never forget. Dave.
That's all right.
So now he's working on the mussels. So we got the cast iron going back here. We're doing some shallots. We're going to do some garlic and some thyme. Put all those in the oil together and let them meld for about 5 minutes.
You
Let
have
the
to.
oils kind of work through and release some of these flavors. This will all become part of the sauce for the mussels. Then we'll throw the fries in for a second fry here when the mussels are coming off. And then we've got some Andalous sauce, which I made last night. This stuff's really good to set for a day or two before it's
Set it and forget it?
Yeah, let it really meld together.
Can't
So we
forget
made that
it.
last night. That's to dip your fries in. It's kind of like America has Thousand Island dressing. This is the Belgian version of that, but
Okay,
it's
okay.
way better.
I was
And
gonna ask.
It's mayonnaise based. It's got peppers and onions and lemon juice. some stuff like that in
Is
there.
that the Ryan secret sauce or the Dave secret sauce?
That is like the Belgian secret sauce.
That's
this
the
is
Belgian
like the
one.
standard. Every Frite stand over there has this sauce. So that's why we had to bring that so you get the full experience. So yeah, we're throwing the onions, shallots.
Is there triple out right now?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So as far as mussels goes, have you guys ever heard of a quahog?
Quahog?
Yeah.
No, this by the way is our Belgian triple, which we're gonna put in there as well.
Wait, let me
Oh.
brown this before you put too much.
Getting a little anxious there.
Woo!
A little overambitious.
Look at that.
Chef Dave
I
almost
think you want
slapped
to
your
do this
hand.
afterwards, right?
After I brown these,
Yeah.
Let me get this going first.
So you've been to Belgium a few times. Dave, have you been to
I
Belgium?
have not been to
You
Belgium,
haven't been.
but
You look.
I'm hoping to go.
He was supposed to go
This
October with
October.
us. COVID, so he's coming this October.
Well, I have to wonder, and that's what I want to ask you, Dave. Are you looking forward to some of the cuisine to be able
Oh,
to?
absolutely. I am very excited. I mean, the cuisine, the beers, I've never been, and obviously I work for a Belgian brewery. I love beer. I love Belgian beer. And the Belgians are some of the most creative brewers, the most diverse brewers in the country, besides the U.S., obviously. But, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited to try all the diversity. Ryan, obviously, has been
Well, talk
several
about the
times.
food scene.
and-
Oh, the food. So, obviously, everyone thinks of Belgium for the beer, and they should, because it's the best beer in the world. So, yes, the beer is fantastic, but the food goes along with it. Beer is part of the culture over there. So, they don't just drink beer, they cook with beer. It's part of multi-generational businesses. It's part of towns. It's everything over there. So, you know, for us, we might have a small brewery here, small brewery there. They could be working on their 5th, 6th, 7th generation brewer. Same family, same location, same town. I mean, the history just goes. Food is the same way, so they get these recipes that go back so far. So obviously this is a staple. You're going to find it everywhere. But they have so much other great stews are big over there. So they make these beef stews, and they do bolognese sauce on pasta with duck and beef. And I mean, the food scene over there is just fantastic. And a lot of it is cooked with beer, so they get some of that flavor, you know, the flavors to meld with the food that way. But
Cooking with beer. Now, I love it, and I think it's catching on, and it's one of those things to where if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But wine primarily is, you know, what dominates a lot of wine and food.
people always think of wine with food.
But beer
yeah.
and food, is wine
Beer
and
and
food
food
a
is-
thing in Belgium? Or
It is. So wine, you know, obviously being north of France, there's a lot of
Sure.
wine influence there, and there's some wine influence on the beers. You know, we do a lot of barrel aging in wine barrels, French wine barrels, for that reason. And so there's a lot of crossover in Belgium.
Lots of Belgian brewers use grapes and stuff in their beer making as well.
Yeah. So they definitely relate, but beer is king in Belgium.
So I was going to ask you that. You sit down for an ordinary meal and you order a beer. Is that what you do with your meal?
For sure. You order a beer. You know, it was funny. We took a group last year down to Orval, and then we went to this cafe next door outside the gates of Orval, and we're in line, and in front of us is a couple. They're probably in their mid-80s, husband, wife, and they're shuffling through line with us, and they get their food, and at the end, they each get a Belgian quadruple. So it was, I think, a 10.5% beer for lunch. And it's perfectly normal, you know, for an 85-year-old couple to have lunch and drink a 10.5% beer and then move on with their day.
Well, it is a food
you know?
group, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's its own food group for sure.
just stop at the beer. What are you having for lunch? I'm going to have that triple.
Yeah. Yeah, they just do it.
That's what I'm going to do. I love the culture. I obviously haven't been, and I'm just an inquisitive
we gotta
kid.
get you over there.
Because I like culture.
Yeah,
The
we gotta
smells
get
are
you
great.
over
Is
there.
that
Are we doing
rosemary
this?
you
Is
were
this going
using?
in right away?
Yeah, pinch of that, so a little pepper, a little salt. And then once that's going up for a while, we'll add our triple beer in there.
Yeah, I
Now
think
you
we're
act-
good
Get
here.
down.
You act like you cook this often.
I've done mussels several times. You know, I had them at Christmas. That was something my wife and I did this year for Christmas at home. We cooked some mussels. You know, we definitely like them. It's a treat.
You want to dump that triple in?
Yep. You ready?
Comes the beer.
So we're doing our Belgian triple, which will meld really good with the flavors that we've got going here. So let that kind of, should be enough there.
Stick around later. We're going to catch up. We did some filming at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, and that's exactly where we got this Yoder smoker right here.
That's it right here.
This gets used so much. Actually, we brought Biker Jim Pittenger over to Proud Souls a couple of days ago. We filmed it. We thought it was interesting. The reason for the season is the weather heats up. You want to be that backyard warrior. Take a look at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, because
Then when we dump
definitely the place to go for any of your local barbecue needs is Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. We're here with the guys from Bruz Beers. Again, another great Colorado brand. And I want to talk about the breweries for just a second here, because you have some good partnerships and relationships. And I always say, if your brewery sticks in the neighborhood embraces it, there's a good chance you're going to do very well. And it's called Midtown, right?
Yeah. Yeah, our main brewery is located in Midtown, just about 10 minutes north of downtown Denver. It was a new neighborhood when we went in there and took the risk of opening up. It was a dirt floor and some brand new homes going in, and it's 5 years later now. Coming up this summer, it'll be our 5th year open up there, and it's turned into a great community, and we're certainly the hub of that community, and that's what we wanted. You know,
what a gem.
You can't get more European than being surrounded on all sides by homes. You know, when this thing really started kicking up, the craft beer scene in America, 90s, and people started opening them, it was always in a warehouse. It was in the back of a warehouse. And then eventually, you know, 2000s or so, you're moving to the front of the warehouse. But you weren't in a community. You weren't surrounded by homes like you are in Europe. And so for us to have that opportunity up in Midtown to literally be the nucleus of a neighborhood was a perfect fit for us.
Doing food talk.
Mussels hitting beer.
Dave,
Mussels
do it.
hitting beer.
Okay, here it goes.
And then we'll drop these fries in.
Look at these guys. Chefs, watch out. and it's not, you know, obviously chefs love brewers, brewers love chefs. There's so many commonalities.
Yeah, 5 minutes covered.
Between the two. One thing I want to talk about is brew pubs, right? So the food element. When you go to Belgium, are most of is there food attached to most of these breweries, or what are they doing?
It's a mix. You know, restaurants everywhere, and the beer lists at these restaurants will blow your mind. I mean, you can order $500 bottles of beer, you know, 30-year-old Chimay Blue on the bottle list at a lot of these restaurants. So the restaurants will run the gamut. Then you've got tap rooms, much like you do in America. There's one in Bruges that has over 300 different Belgian beers available in just that one small tap room. So, and then you've got the breweries. A lot of these breweries, they love food just like we do, and so they will open a restaurant as part of it. So some of the bigger ones do. You get out into the farmhouse breweries, and it's literally a husband, wife, and a handful of friends making this whole operation run. So there's no restaurant there. So you get in between. They have the passion for the food, but you don't always have the facility, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, being 4 generations deep, it's built with stone in the middle of a field, and it's just not a restaurant. You know, it'd be hard to retrofit a restaurant in there.
There's no build out in there.
But some of them you will run into, and they've done it, and those are really special.
Well, one of the things that you can hope for is that community, that neighborhood feel. And one thing that you have going on for you is just 2 doors down, right?
Yeah.
You have a very good partnership and relationship with a gal that just does a great job with bonbons.
Yeah, bonbons. It's a husband-wife combo down there. They make great food. For us, having food in-house and that available is essential. We're also serving 10, 12, 13% alcohol beers, so
yeah,
you kind of need a burger or something in between them. We also employ a different food truck every night of the week, so we've got 7 different food trucks weekly, sometimes 8.
Wow.
We do dessert trucks as well on top of those, and so we're always having a rotation of food through our tasting room.
And don't forget to bring your dog.
No, we love dogs. I mean, our brew dogs are there. We do dog activities. We do an annual event up there called Wagapalooza. Last time we did Wagapalooza, we couldn't do it during COVID, so the year before, I think we adopted like 34 dogs in 2 hours out of there. I mean, what's better than getting a buzz on and taking a puppy home, right? Like, that just works.
All right, let's go to the Dave cam. What do we got going on here?
Well, we're getting pretty close here. Oh, mussels are looking beautiful. Opening up, steaming in that beer and the oil and the...
Oh, I was going to quickly tell you about quahogs. So quahogs are a northeastern mussel that, you find them just like any other mussel. But in the sand, you pull these babies out, and literally they're this big.
Whoa, really?
You open this, and
it's like a hamburger mussel.
It is a big mussel.
You just need one or two?
You just need a couple of them. Mussels are interesting things. And... when Dave, you said, well, do you like mussels? I said, well, how are you going to cook them?
I see how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I see how it's going to be. I think I'll use this.
And how much butter comes along with them.
That's next. That's
part
of the
next.
sauce.
We're almost there.
And the fries?
Yeah, we're getting
fries
close
are close.
There.
This is a
See
treat
these?
for us.
This is the second frying. That's the key, is get them in there twice. So we're going to let those run for about another minute. And those will be done.
While we're doing that, can we try this collab beer and talk about it once again?
Yeah, let's open one of these.
I'll go grab those glasses. You start talking about that, and I'll get the glasses.
Yeah, Dave.
Or do you want to just come on over here? Buy the bread.
Yeah, we can do that. It was myself, Charlie Gottenkinney, our co-founder, and Dave, and we sat around, and I know it sounds hard, but we sat around and tasted probably 20 different beers along with this their beer base to boil it down to what we wanted to do, and that's this beer here. So, like Dave said, it's a Flanders Red Sour Cuvée that we then blended. We brewed a Petite Saison specifically for this base, and then we blended them on the back half of the brewing process.
Did you pour it that way on purpose, or am I going to teach
this
you how to pour a beer?
So you want at least two heads,
Why?
2 fingers of head on a
Talk
Belgian
to me.
beer.
Tell me.
Pull your mask down and smell that, and
Okay.
you'll know why.
As it goes down.
Oh, so good.
And so this should be, I would call this a snifter,
This-
and I'm
this is
probably
proper.
wrong.
This is a proper pour in Belgium.
What's
right here.
this type of glass
Yeah,
called?
this is like a snifter. So there's two. So in Belgium, there's a different glass for every beer, and if you can imagine that, there's well over 1,000 different beers. They have 1,000 different glasses over there. So you craft a beer for a glass for that beer. But what you're tasting there that's close to a 4-year-old sour base now.
I just went.
Yep. So the first sip always on a sour. Here you go, Dave.
Thank you.
Is
Cheers,
always going to
Dave.
kind
Cheers, sir.
of shock your palate. So go for the second and third, and that's when you start judging the flavor.
It's like drinking whiskey for the first time. So are you telling me that foam is going to contain a lot of the smell particulates?
Oh yeah, the aroma is everything. If you were to hold your nose now and try a sip of that beer,
Yeah.
it tastes completely different. And it'll taste different in a different glass, too. So we brought these because it really kind of opens that beer up, and it's a good way to drink it.
And you're right, the second drink. I'm looking forward to going down the lane of the third and the fourth and the fifth drink. So when it comes to having this collaboration and basically mixings of beers, right? I mean,
Right.
you're mixing them together.
Yeah,
what do
we're
you
creating
taste
for each
from
other.
the original beer from Belgium?
Well, you get a lot of that sour base in there, and you get that color. So that Flanders Red has got that kind of amber color. Now, the Cuvée de Jacobins, which is the base beer from Belgium, is very, very tart, very sharp. It's a fantastic beer, but it wouldn't appeal to the masses over here in the United States. It's got a fantastic following, and those who like it, covet it, and find it and drink it. And I'm one of those. But as far as a beer for the mass of our audience, it wouldn't appeal to on just that basis. So what we did is crafted this beer to kind of play off of those characters, but add several other softer layers in there. And we're at about 60% sour base, 40% of our Petite Saison on this one. So it's not overly done. You still get plenty of that Belgian base in there. And like I said, this is the first of 3 collaborations we're doing with this brewery.
Wow. You got to be thrilled with this one, first of all.
we're so excited.
Right? How can people get it?
So these are available in both of our tasting rooms on draft and in bottles. Very limited bottle run, but we wanted to do a bottle run, cork and cage. very
You
Belgian
can get
style.
these bottles
Yes.
right here. This wasn't just show for the modern eater
No,
right
this
here.
is
This
available.
is what you get.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, I don't know what you do for people, for yourself, or for gifts or anything else, but this one right here, you got to get.
And these will go fast. I mean, the bottles will go really fast. Hopefully we'll have some draft on there for a while. You can see on the side there's the Jacobins, which is the base beer, and then there's the brewery, Omer van der Gens. And then we pulled in some of their branding from here up into our top of our label. And it's really it's a special. You know, there's not a lot of what we call transatlantic collaborations, especially in Belgium. They hold their beer tight, and you know they don't just collaborate with anyone. And we felt very honored that they even considered this idea, let alone followed through with it. So
it says something for Bruz, right?
yeah, I think it does. You know, they know our passion. They know that this is what we're wanting to do, and push the bounds and continue to educate Americans on this. I mean, that sour base is a special beer, and most would never have tasted it unless it came through a form like this. You know, we've gotten it in more hands than it would have. So, you know, they get a little bit more exposure. We both grow a little bit from it. But more importantly, people get a really special beer. And that's cool.
That is definitely cool. I'll tell you, I look at Ryan Evans and I go, you're an alien, man. How are you around beer all day and food, functional? Well, I mean, one of the best guys that really, truly is a great steward of your brand. And you and Charlie Gottenkinney have done such a great job with Bruz Beers.
It's a fun journey. You know, do something you're passionate about, right? That's key to life.
Yeah.
And it won't be work. And that's what we do. I mean, Dave and I get to play every day in the brewery and create new things, and you share it with friends and family. And I mean, how can you go wrong? And here we are cooking with you guys, and I mean, life is good.
Colfax location is interesting because as you look around corners and just do that, because visualize that piece of property down there on Colfax with your capabilities with outdoors, your indoor remote tap room for all your delicious beers. Kind of lay out how you envision that this summer.
Yeah, Brews Off Fax is really cool. So we took an old historic building in Denver and converted it to a tasting room. We've got a whole new layout on the patio now. We've doubled the size of that patio and really opened it up. It's got a very European feel to it, almost like a back alley European feel to it.
First of all, can I tell Dave that I think those look like the perfect fries? And they you need the fry anchors in there. Sorry to interrupt, Ryan.
No, those look great.
I know they do. Salt them. The patio.
So yeah, so we took over this entire patio, but it's like a little oasis, right? It's in the back of this building right off Colfax. So, you know, just on the other side of the building is the chaos of Colfax, right? It's chaotic. There's buses and people and all sorts of action.
And then you enter the botanical gardens.
Yeah,
It's truly kind of like
it's
that.
It's that way, right?
I mean,
and then you're in this little oasis, and it's quiet, it's peaceful. We have a little bit of music, a little bit of lighting back there, but we let the setting speak for itself. It's just open and gorgeous and quiet, and here's our meal.
People must be so mad at us right now. Why did you choose the sourdough, Dave?
I love sourdough. I think it's a very like Belgium and their beer scene. It's a very historical bread. This bread has been around for an eternity, and so I love fermentation, obviously, and so mixed culture, bread fermentation, mixed culture, beer fermentation, acidity, all of that just goes so it balances food. There's something about acidity in food that just balances it all out. And
now our guy, we have a bread guy, Aspen Baking Company, a local company, and he would look at this bread. He'd go, look at the eyes on this bread. This looks fantastic. I mean, just has the curvature you want. And the artisan nature of the way you're making your bread here,
yes.
I can see your passion just through the bread itself.
There's something to the art. It's something you can't do with beer, right? The presentation of it. I mean, you can, but they are all similar. All beers look and feel the same. But bread, you know, one round with a cross pattern, and it brings this little ear up in the center, and it looks really cool. And then the other one, you put a wheat stalk on the side, and you open the side up, and it's a piece of art that I don't get to play with on the beer side. Mm-hmm. It's my hands creating a piece of art, basically. And there's just something about that I love.
And tell them more about the yeast that you use in this beer.
So actually, the yeast, the culture that I use to ferment my breads is actually a beer culture. It's the same thing that I ferment the sour beer that we make at Bruz with.
Okay.
It's the same thing that I've fermented sour beers since I was a home brewer. I've been using this culture, which is a mix of some Goose and Lambic, which is a very Belgian beer from Belgium, some Cantillon in there. There's some Dry Fontainen in there. There's some all different kinds of mixed culture beer and stuff like that. Mixed culture yeasts and stuff that are in this bread. And I created a sourdough mother, essentially, out of that same yeast culture that I used to make beer with.
Keep the funk around.
Keep the funk.
Keep the fun.
Keep it going.
And it gets better every year.
Yeah.
If you keep it going,
It's
it
about
just gets better every year.
My beer culture is about a 6 to 7 year old culture. My bread culture is about, as I turned it into bread, it's now about 3 years old. So.
You got the bread knife. Let's open that bread up. I want to see you make a plate for
Let's do
us
it.
because this is what everybody is
where
waiting
it's
for.
at.
This is good stuff. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll show you the final outcome of this, and then we're going to show you around Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, the place where we get our Yoda from, our green egg from. They have Magic Chef. They have Weber. They have everything you need. It's a local company. And as we're going to commercial, we're going to open this bread up, and I want you to bring it right up to that camera with the light on there, Dave. Look at that. It's your babies right here. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Oh, that's a beauty.
That's it. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey guys, Alex Armitage over at Sam's No. 3 Glendale. You want a Bloody Mary? You want a cheeseburger? You want a breakfast burrito? Greek salad? Bacon gyro meat? Chicken souvlaki? Barbecue ranch salad? We got you covered. Come down and see us. One more time. Try it again. Hey guys, Alex Armitage over here at Sam's No. 3 Glendale. Now get your ass to themoderneater.com. Thank you so much.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
All right, back to the show in just a second. But before we get back to the mussels and the Belgian beer, I want to talk to you about something near and dear. Hey, back to the show. We got to turn your microphone on, producer. Before we get back to the Belgian beer and the mussels, I want to talk to you about Jeff. God, that fried my brain. Jeff Nations at aspenbaking.com. I know it doesn't sound like I know what I'm talking about, but trust me, when it comes to bread.
Trust me, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about delicious bread, and specifically Aspen Baking Company, aspenbaking.com. Since 1994, they've been serving our community, the Colorado and Denver community. Over 700 accounts here locally. They don't put the bad stuff. They put the good stuff. So aspenbaking.com, you're going to find delicious bread. You're not going to find chemicals. You're going to find hoagie rolls. You're not going to find artificial artificial coloring. You're going to find homemade pizza dough, but you're not going to find them freezing it. They don't do that either. Over at Aspen Baking, they do it the right way, you guys. AspenBaking.com. If you're a chef and you can't bake your own bread, get a hold of Aspen Baking. If you're just a bread lover like me and you want the best bread in the city, get a hold of Aspen Baking. It's AspenBaking.com. Now we're going to get back to the show, and we're going to try some Belgian mussels, and we're going to try some Belgian beer from Bruz Beers with our good buddy Ryan Evans.
Delicious, Jay, and I love bread too, especially when it comes with the mussels and the frites. Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and it is a Wednesday. I know. We're having way too much fun, and cooking is amazing. But this kitchen, Studio Kitchen, Colorado, also houses Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start in the evenings, Monday through Thursdays. It's a 3-week course. It's a gimme. It's free to you. Whether you're a home cook, you want to get into the business, or you just want to sharpen your skills, Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start is for you. After the segment that we play for you from Proud Souls, we're going to jump to another segment that was pasta making right in this kitchen last night. Making education cool again. That's what we're doing. And people, I'll tell you what. If you like to watch people cook food and you like to participate and you want to be involved in community, food, and the efforts that takes place right here at Studio Kitchen, Colorado, go to the Modern Eater website, themoderneater.com. Click on the Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. What you will see there are 2 things. A way to sign up if you want to be a student, and a way to grab students for your kitchen if you are a restaurateur, a manager, what have you. If you're in the business or you want to be in the business, this is for you. Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. Back to the show. Dave, you killed it.
Thank you.
Look at this. You're proud of yourself, aren't you?
I'm very proud of myself, actually.
And why not? This is a delicious meal. So as we go through this.
It looks amazing.
All right. Would you have done anything different? I don't think you would have.
I don't think I would have, no. Maybe a baguette instead of a large loaf, but outside of that, I think it's looking real nice.
So here it is. It's plated up. And Ryan, you got to have that beer poured.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the triple with it. I got one for you there, Greg, and one for you, Dave, when you finish that.
I'm gonna try my first couple bites with this beer to Mars. I think it's gonna go so well with this meal.
Well, can we look at you eat?
You want to watch me eat?
We want to see how you approach
right,
this plate right now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Here we go.
First
Ready?
of all, beer first or food first? How are you going to go after this?
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a sip of a little smell, a little acidity. We were talking about the way this beer might taste and smell. To me, I'm getting cherry. I'm getting raspberry. There's like this leathery kind of a background on it. We're doing a mic fix. Check. But then the beer that I brewed to go along, those are all Flanders Red characters. Those are all very common in a Flanders Red beer. But the beer that I made to go in it is a much lighter beer. It's very, there's no acidity really. It's a little maybe more hop character than a Flanders Red would normally have. But it's got a little bit of bite. It's got a little bit, there's some aged hops that I used in it, which give really interesting, unique, almost cheesy characters, but in a complimentary way, and it's really lovely. So, and it lightens that acidity up. It drops a 7% Flanders Red down to about a 5.5% Bière de Mars, which is really delicious, really crushable. Great great food beer, great meal beer, and yeah.
I'm going down this lane. I'm going down this lane with you.
You smelling it?
Oh,
you get
yes.
the cherry, you get the leather, you get the...
Yes.
Yeah.
And my mouth is really trained because we cracked this open, I don't know, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. As it warms up, it opens
warmed
up.
up as well. So
for
I'm
sure.
Gonna start with a bite of the mussel, if I can do it here.
Okay.
And I'm going to make sure I get some sauce on it there. Oh, yeah. Garlic and chewy and herb. Lots of butter, which is really good. And that acidity here is going to cut that fat, cut that butter. Bring me right back down to neutral so I can try this. Oh, mushy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Hey, nice job with that sauce, Ryan. That's
little lemon juice.
that dipping sauce.
Are you going to pull from that bread?
Some spices in there,
I'm gonna pull this
mayonnaise.
bread right now.
And the bread is going to be the crowning achievement of the
I'm going to
meal.
pull some butter off with it.
And as always, you can dip it in that sauce.
Yeah, I'm going to run that sauce through it.
It's the best part about eating mussels. Don't forget the sauce.
Oh. I just baked this bread this morning. The crust is still super crunchy. Nice, chewy insides. Oh.
And it's a sopper. You
yeah,
got to sopper
it's
up.
It's going to sop that up real nice. Don't forget the butter. I'm just going to bite right off of it now.
Some French butter.
Who's not ready for that?
Oh, yeah.
So I recommended to the boys, I said,
I'm just going to keep going here.
Dave, Ryan, let's do a dinner. We got to do one of these.
This would be a fun dinner, you know. It's easy. It's not overly complicated, but there's a lot of flavors going on. And if you think about it, pretty much everything you see on that plate was cooked with beer today.
Now, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we've got it in every
Was it in the sauce?
Essentially. Yeah, there's a little bit in there. Obviously, you saw us do the mussels. They had it in. And Dave talked about the beer culture that he used for the bread. So, you know, again, they cook with beer. Beer is everything over there. It's not just something to drink, and it kind of comes full circle on a meal like this.
This is an experience, and this is what people are looking for these days. As you go, okay, how can I make food enjoyable? How can I make my libations enjoyable?
Yeah.
How are you not just going, okay, give me a burger, a beer, and a shot?
Right.
I mean, there's a place for that.
There's always a place for that.
But if you're looking to take a ride and a ride around the world, something regional like this, refer back to this. I think we can get the boys to give us, I mean, it's not really much of a recipe, but just the ingredients.
Share the recipe with you.
Totally.
You know, COVID times, you're doing a lot more cooking at home. This is a perfect meal for COVID times. You know, mussels are not expensive in America. They cost the same amount of money as a chicken wing per pound. So, you know, we pay about $5 a pound at Whole Foods for these mussels, which is dirt cheap for such a great meal. Obviously, potatoes aren't that expensive. These are all ingredients that you can't really mess it up. Take it and do it your own way if you want, but it's not a complicated thing. Don't overcook the mussels. Don't overcook the fries. And, you know, call Dave and he'll just bake the bread for you.
Oh, everybody got their COVID sourdough loaf going. I'm pretty sure everyone learned how to bake sourdough during COVID time. So
I love these boys. Okay, one more time. 30-second elevator speech. Bruz Beers, come visit.
Yeah, come visit Bruz Beers, 67th and Pecos, 10 minutes north of downtown Denver. Also at Colfax in York. We call that the Brews Off Fax location. So there's 2 tasting rooms in town. Beers available at both. If you're lucky, you'll catch Dave and a loaf of bread one afternoon.
well, let's wax poetic about beer. Let's do it.
I'm telling truly, it's an environment that you want to go to, whether it's date night, anniversary, you just want to hang out, Sunday afternoon, any day of the week. What's your hours of operations right now?
Yeah, up at the main brewery, we're 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock daily, and then Brews Off Fax, we're 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock daily.
Take them up on it. These are the guys, man. Dave Olson, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Ryan Evans, cheers to you.
Guys.
We're going to break away. We'll come back, and you will see, I'll tell you what, take a look at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, another local company coming up next on the Modern Eater Show.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.
Oh, man, I need some bear paws. Like, oh, I need this for sure. I'm always burning myself. Spatula. Man, this is the candy land. Welcome to Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. When I think local and I think barbecue, look at this. Look at these awards, the ribbons, award-winning barbecue, local as you get. We have a treat today because Biker Jim Pittenger is here with us. What's happening, Biker Jim?
Just looking for a barbecue, my friend. Came to the right place.
And here it is, Dan.
What's going on, everybody?
Dan, we made it in. We've got Biker Jim. He's looking for a grill. I don't even know what his needs are, but
I don't either.
You guys do the best. Let's talk about it. Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, 2 locations, one right here on Federal and what?
One north, right here, 25th and Federal, about a mile north of Broncos Stadium. The other location we opened up about 7 months ago down in Old Town Littleton, about a block north of Main Street. Come in and check us out.
This is as real as it gets. There's no prep work here. Jim's coming in. He's a customer, and you start from there. This is how you figure out the needs of your customer, and that's what Dan. Go ahead, guys.
Well, that's why I'm here, man.
Yeah, what's going on, Jim?
Talk to the expert.
There you
Figure
go.
out what it is that I actually need. So something probably for home use. I'm not really looking for commercial use right now. And this is where you're going to come in handy. I want a smoker. I've never had one, so I really want to do a lot of stuff with smoke.
Okay.
Smoking everything from sugar to cheesecakes to, maybe the odd pork chop. I don't know.
Okay.
But I also want to be able to sear. So I'm looking at some sort of a combo thing that would get me, where I could smoke something at 150, 160 degrees and sear something at 700 degrees.
Okay. So you've obviously done a little bit of your homework and know what you're looking for, just enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know how dangerous I am, but,
How many folks are you cooking for?
Right now, not very many.
Not very many?
But, once we get through this pandemic mess, I want to be able to cook for...
Don't you want a piece of that smoked cheesecake?
Oh, it's already got me drooling, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a smoked cheesecake.
I don't believe anybody has. I haven't made one yet, but,
Nice.
Pretty good on the cheesecake thing.
And then what about your degree of how much hands-on do you want to be? Is it something you want to be able to set and forget it, or is it something that's
I
going to
think
be...
set and forget's probably not a bad way for me to go, much like bill pay. I would just want to be able to plug everything in at once, and then if something goes wrong down the road, somebody lets me know.
Okay.
So,
Jim, does size matter?
Does size matter? Yeah, I think it also matters how much fire you get, what kind of smoke you make.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
basically what the result is. That's what really matters, size or not.
Now, do you need to know the setting because he wants this in his bedroom?
Well, the beautiful thing about a lot of these smokes right now is they're all Wi-Fi enabled. So you can actually have a controller that has an app, cloud-based. You can download that application and control. You could be controlling your smoker from your phone right here.
From your bidet.
From my bidet.
From your bidet, from whatever it is. Basically, if you can have a phone access, if you've got internet connection, you basically can control your cooker. So
Fair. I've got my sous vide down. Now I can do the smoker.
There you go.
Life will be easy.
I would steer you towards these Yoders over here.
This big one right here, right?
Yeah, this big bad boy. This one looks familiar. Where's this one hang out at?
Studio Kitchen, Colorado. That's the exact same one. And Jim, you have piloted this smoker before.
Yeah, we've
now. And seriously, tell him the setting of where your apparatus will live.
Actually, it would not support anything quite this large. This is going on my patio right now.
Yoder also makes a pellet smoker, which would be this 640. They've also got a 480, which would be on the other side.
Right.
So the number basically is the size of the square inches of the bottom rack. So that one's got 640 square inches down there. And above, that's got roughly about 500. So you're looking at about 1,100 square inches for that guy. 20-pound hopper. That's the Wi-Fi enabled controller with 2 probes with a little probe port off to the side. It does come with chrome front shelves as well as side. The unit runs.
They go here, I'm guessing?
Yep, they would slide directly in. We can pop around here in a second. I can show you those. The unit, once you turn it on, runs a fan. The fan does not have to ignite the pellets, right? So you can actually do some cold smoking. So if you wanted to do some cheese, some nuts, most folks, do that sparingly, but mostly they're doing pork butts, they're doing shoulders, they're doing burgers, whatever it may be. You hit start, and that guy comes up to anywhere from 150 degrees on the low end to 600 plus on the high end. All right, so it does do that low and slow, but it also can do that searing like you mentioned.
Okay, that 600, is that like 600 convection heat, or is there actually flames that will come underneath?
So set up like this is going to be a little bit more convection style.
Gotcha.
Because you've got a one-piece solid diffuser plate running across here. So most pellet smokers are going to have strictly that convection heat.
Gotcha.
By that, what we mean is that heat's going to come up around and not be the direct heat like you would get from a charcoal grill or a gas
Is that
grill.
the only type of fuel that you use with this is pellets?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You were
So-
that's where you were looking, wasn't it? Jim?
Well, I was actually looking for the ease of not having to go, carry hardwood around.
So
and
this is
deal with
a 20-pound hopper that gets you about 10 to 12 hours of cook time. So
Okay.
as long as you have that full, you can you can't turn it on via your phone, but once it's on, you can control it via your phone or
Turn it off via your phone?
You can turn it off via your phone
Okay.
too. Yep.
But you're not searing with that, are you?
No.
Not this setup.
Yeah.
So the beauty of the Yoder is, Greg, if you want to lift up that guy there, the same exact unit. So this is set up with our searing option.
See,
so
now, Jim.
Most pellet smokers don't have this option. What I mean by the searing, as you mentioned, Jim, this particular two-piece diffuser has got a trap door in there.
Right.
So that trap door comes out, and you're wondering if you're cooking with direct flame. Now you're cooking with direct flame from pellets.
Gotcha.
So you can get that char you're looking for those tomahawks, those Delmonico steaks, tri-tip, pork, loin, whatever it may be. So you're going to have flames shooting up here. You can either use the standard chrome grates they have there, and you've got about an 8 by 8 inch area to grill on. Or
You've got
these
these
grill
charred.
grates, there's a set of 3 aluminum, which are pretty slick. Grill Grates is its own company. They do their own deal. They don't rust. You get a set of 3 of those. You can have the traditional grill marks, diamond shaped there, or if you go on the right side, you can flip it over. And you've got more overall coverage on your steaks. You've got something for smash burgers. You've got something for a lot more searing. That's going to radiate the heat about 50 to 75 degrees more. And now you've turned the smoker in about half of that bottom area, 320 square inches, into a grill. So now
And
you
when
can get about
say
8 steaks
50
on
to
there.
50 to 75 degrees warmer, so you're looking pretty close to 700 degrees.
If you take a gun and shoot those grates, you're going to be roughly 700 degrees.
Okay.
Look at that sexy mini skirt.
Yep.
Look at that baby.
You get so turned
Is
on
it-
by everything, Greg.
Is this? Well, this is sexy. This
That is a sexy beast.
as hell.
So it's American-made sexy beast. So that guy comes out of Wichita, Kansas. So that sucker weighs about 335 pounds all in. That's why it can withstand that higher temperature. Some of the other pellet smokers are only getting up to 500 degrees, and they're only going to have that indirect heat. They're not
Gotcha.
going to have that direct flame.
What else?
What else
the,
we got? I
the
mean,
other
this is-
side,
yeah.
you mentioned you're not cooking for an army right now.
No, not really. I mean,
the other
although
unit-
that size-wise is pretty close to what I'd be looking
This
for.
is the size one down from that.
Okay.
So this is
Right.
the 480, 480 square inches down low. Built the same gauge steel, the same hopper, same controller. So it's just going to be 8 inches shorter. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same
So
unit.
you can still put those same searing boxes
and
in
that's
there.
how we have this one set
Oh,
up here.
Okay, cool.
So that's
Oh,
the
great.
basic model there, and this is kind of the souped-up turbo.
Right on. This kind of is looking pretty close to my guy right there.
You can get a full packer brisket. You can get multiple pork shoulders on there.
Pull this out,
that
put in
comes
a turkey.
standard. Yeah, so you can slide this guy all the way out. So now you've got a lot more coverage. It slides it back in. It's expanded metal. You can get probably 7 racks of ribs on that guy. 2
Pretty
turkeys.
safe in a confined area.
Yeah. So this would be roughly about 12 inches away from your wall. all your fire is pretty much contained in here. It's very rarely that you would get anything shooting out of here.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. And this will still drop down. You can still cold smoke. You can still.
Yep. You would literally just hit this button here. Fan would turn on, then hit the start button, and that's when he would start dropping pellets to get you the heat to start.
And how low a heat will this go? When you say cold smoke,
150 degrees with the fire.
Gotcha.
So cold smoking, you literally would just turn the fan on, and we have what they call these amazing tubes, which is a smoke tube that you'd fill with pellets and actually light that with a torch.
Oh, gotcha.
And then you'd stick that right on this side. You could put your cheese, your nuts, your fish, whatever here. That smoke would roll up across that.
You need to get that?
No, we're good.
Okay, we can confer. This is when you go to buy a car and then you have an opportunity. Like, oh, is this too much, man? Is this right in the area we want to be?
The beauty's of voicemail.
Can you? And this is where my great dumb questions come in. Can you do any of this with gas, with different types of fuels?
You can do the direct, so if you would pull off the grill grates, now you've got the direct flame. The beauty of this is instead of cooking with propane or natural gas, you've got that flavor of the wood.
Yeah.
So you're imparting the same temperatures, but it's a flavorless gas, propane or nat gas, whereas the heat's coming from a flavorful
So there's not
fuel.
a crossover to where you can do gas and...
There could be. It's not going to be as intense. So, like the Napoleons we have over there, they've got a tube that you can slide in that would have some wood chips in there, and actually have a burner in there. So you would light your burner, light the wood
propane making the tasteless heat, but the
wood chips providing the smoke.
Gotcha.
So just so it doesn't seem like we're doing a commercial for Yoder, is there anything else in here? Would there be a Traeger that would line up? Would there be a...
Memphis would be the only other one over here.
You want to take a look at that, Jim? You got to see everything, though, don't you, Jim? That's how I think.
So this is that smoke tray I was telling you about. So you would fill that with chips. And you have a burner to control that. So you're going to have smoke on the inside. This gas grill has got a nice option where you can actually put charcoal in there, kick on your burners, light your charcoal, turn off your burners. Now you got a charcoal grill inside your gas grill. Some other folks put a smoker box in there. You can light chips there, but that flavor is not going to be as intense as your pellet
Yoder.
smoker.
Yeah, and this looks like it's all set up for the disco nights that we usually have at my apartment.
Yeah, exactly.
So this gets up to 1,800
So
degrees.
that's your sear box on the side.
Or you can just get smoke in a cup.
Smoke in a cup.
Smoke in a cup.
Heat.
Way better than the old cup of smoke we used to get.
Yeah, so that's an awesome option for searing. Again, flavorless. So you're counting on having really high quality meat with that. Not as versatile as a smoker. Usually, it depends on what your needs are. If you want,
I already have a decent. I have a decent char grill or propane grill.
You can always fire that up if you're looking to do.
And not on my patio.
Not on your patio.
I'm sort of limited as to how much space I have.
Okay. This Memphis over here is another option. It looks like a gas grill, but it's actually a pellet smoker. So stainless steel. Comes with the side shelves. Comes with a cabinet down below, so it looks a little sleeker.
Looks pretty high tech.
It does look high tech. It's got a Wi-Fi enabled controller as well. It's got 3 probes for that. Not as much surface area as the Yoder. You can get a second rack in here. That's the high temp black solid steel finish versus the stainless here. Hopper is going to be here in the front versus the side.
Crazy.
Smaller hopper is going to be a 12-pound hopper versus the 20-pound for the Yoder. This temperature range is going to get up to about 550 degrees.
So there's no way of boosting that up to the... I know some Memphis grills you can get hotter, correct?
So they make a Pro version, and then they also make a Elite. And I'm going to bumble around with that, or take that.
Oh, okay.
So you pull that. They've got in that deal, they've got a perforated flavorizer is what they call it. So basically that would be your searing station.
Gotcha.
So you would start as is, you'd get it to a certain temperature, switch this out, put in your flavorizer there for your direct.
Flavorizer.
And you stick that in there, and now you can get up to 550 degrees. You're going to have flames shooting up from your wood pellets.
For some reason, 550 just doesn't seem quite as good as 700.
What was the comparison over there? I didn't catch what it was over
Well,
there.
it's about 150 degrees difference
difference.
in what you can get out of that Yoder.
Man, those Yoders are like family heirlooms. I mean, honestly, pass those down probably for generations.
Exactly.
They're so well built.
They started as an offset company, so they made offset old school pits, and they've since got into the pellet market about 10 years ago. That's kind of where the the market's going, just for the ease of use. So
Well, let's just make life easy.
you know,
for sure.
on a Tuesday night, you know, you could fire up something that's got charcoal, that's got sticks of wood. Most folks on a Tuesday night aren't going to do that, so they
Mhm.
want something that is going to be convenient, to set it and forget it, but still impart really good flavor into their food.
Gotcha.
What else
there
can
was
you think
one
of,
other.
Dave?
Well, there was one other model that I'd heard of, don't know a lot about. Camp Chef.
Yeah, I can show you it here. It's in the back. That's kind of a hybrid type of unit.
Mm-hmm.
If they make it, they got it. And if they don't got it, they'll get it. Right, Dan?
So this one's actually going out tomorrow. So this is a pellet smoker as well, from here to the left. So you've got a 20-pound hopper there. You've got a touchscreen controller with 4 probes. You've got a window on your hopper to see how many pellets you have left. On the inside's full of some goodies going out tomorrow. But
And wait, when you say going out, people can come by and you'll have it ready for them, right? Or
Yeah.
do you deliver still?
we do both.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pick up a unit that we have here on the floor, or build one for you. You can come by and pick it up at our shop, or we do delivers in the Denver metro area as well.
Mhm.
So this is about the same size as that 480.
Right.
So you're going to have,
Now, this looks more like a traditional grill to me.
with the stainless, it's kind of a cross between that Memphis and the Yoder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Build quality, it's not going to be as robust as the Yoder.
Right.
It's not going to be as thick. Temperature range are going to be roughly about the same as that Beale Street, about 500, 550 degrees or so.
Okay, but which is why you have that box on the side.
Exactly. So you can get it standard with a shelf, or you can get it with the sear box here on the side. So what we mean by that, basically, this would connect directly to a gas source, so a propane or nat
Propane
gas.
tank, yep.
Runs independent of that unit. You've got your controller here. You could throw your steaks on here. You can throw your dogs, your burgers,
That's fresh.
whatever it may be, right on there. And it basically kills 2 birds with 1 stone. So if you're tight on space, this guy works really well for folks who want the pellet, but also want to do gas every now and then.
Right on. I mean, and the difference between the Yoder, and this feels like tin. That Yoder felt like cast iron.
Exactly.
How hot does the sear box get?
Not as quite as hot as at 1,800 degrees, but you're looking close to 1,000 degrees on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's respectable. You can char a steak pretty quick on that, though.
You're not going to beat the hell out of it, though, are you?
I wasn't going to push it downstairs or anything. Jesus, although, we did throw the couch up over the balcony. The couch wouldn't fit up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
There's only 14 stairs between where this is, where the ground is, and where this would live.
To see how
Or
that Yoder
would
gets
live.
up there.
The Yoder would get up there with me and my buddy Gordon.
You just Gordon alone.
Just Gordon
I know
alone.
So you
He's
can
a
get a
beast.
front shelf for this unit. Does have the tabletop kind of shelf there. Does have the shelf on the bottom. So similar setup kind of in style as the
think?
Yoder.
Yeah. It's Camp Chef.
So they started making camping equipment and have since moved on to both camping equipment and then pellet smokers. So the features on the inside that you're messing around with there, Jim. So you can see the perforated grease tray there. So that allows for a little bit more heat to pop up through there. So if you are looking to do some more searing on here versus the sear box on the side, that piece that you were pulling in and out, there's a heat shield that covers that fire pot. That helps more with that convection.
Pull that
If you
out.
pull
you'll
it out,
get
it gets a
more-
lot more heat
more flame.
flowing up there.
Gotcha. Can you still do the cold smoke with this?
You cannot.
Cannot.
Nope.
So Yoder or cold smoke, this will not.
Exactly.
All right.
So budget-wise, this one as is, you're looking for about $1,000. The Yoder 480, you're looking at $1,699. Then with the searing options, it's roughly about another $275. So
So
you're about
couple
double.
grand,
Yeah, about double for the Yoder versus the Camp Chef.
And how, I'm going to say 150 degrees is as
on the low end?
Low end as you can go and still get smoke on this guy.
Yep.
Right.
Can you put mine on layaway? That's all I'm trying to say. Layaway.
Layaway.
You got some things to
I got
think
some good
about,
ideas.
obviously.
Yeah, no, actually,
And, before we get out of here, though, let's take a look around at some of this
Okay.
delicious stuff.
Yeah.
The meat.
Meat.
Hey, you guys got meat.
So for those you don't know, the idea behind the shop, it's an all things one-stop barbecue shop. So you come in, like Jim, you're looking at what grill would be the best grill for your situation, for your budget, for your family, etc. We do not sell meat is cooked for customers, but we do have a fantastic meat locker, meat freezer here. So we've got everything from baby back ribs to spare ribs to pork butts. We've got some tri-tips from Midland Meat Company out of Midland, Texas, which is an American Wagyu. We got some prime grade steaks, fillets, River Bear. Everybody knows River Bear. Justin's awesome. We got his sausage here. We've got some Snake River Farm briskets as well as some of their dogs. What else we got? Some Rome. Everybody knows Chris over at Rome Sausage. We got his sausage here.
Some tender
belly bacon. And then some big old meats to your right there, Jay. We got some briskets.
Down there, buddy.
Down over this side. Some briskets, some pork butts for those big meats. Stuff you want to smoke, those bad boys. So you get your grill, you get your meats, you get your sauces, you get your rubs, you get your accessories, and then we got all the fuels for you as well. And then we've got the knowledge as well as Greg mentioned with the competitions and the classes and the catering and whatnot.
None better. Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Jim, this is the one-stop shop.
Yeah,
if you guys are watching this video and it inspires you because it's the reason for the season, just come on in here and tell Dan, say, I came because of Biker Jim.
There you go.
Why not?
And Biker Jim came because of Dan.
That's right. Guys, thanks so much.
That doesn't sound right at all, does it? No.
I'll take it.
That was cut that one out, Jay. I like that one. That'll be your ringtone. Are you leaning towards one or another? You have some things to think about?
There's a couple I'm leaning towards. So.
Here's what we're going to do is when you make your decision at some point, you need to check back on that smoked cheesecake.
Fair.
Okay. All right. From Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions, Dan, thank you.
Thank you.
Biker Jim, thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right. We'll see you down the road. Come get yourself all your barbecue needs right here, Proud Souls.
All right, you guys. If you're just tuning in, that was a video of Biker Jim shopping over there at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. I'd like to thank the guests on the show today, Ryan Evans and Dave Olson from Bruz Beers. Man, get to the brewery and get yourself a lid and get yourself some delicious Belgian beer. As Greg told you earlier in the show, I'm putting together a video to show Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start and the pasta that they made last night. I'm almost done. If you're a pasta lover and you want to learn how to make pasta, we're going to show you a really cool thing, but it's the Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. Go to our website, themoderneater.com. There's a tab that says Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. You click on that. That's how you get signed up. It's a free course. It's 3 weeks long. And if you're somebody who wants to get into the culinary world, that's how you do it. It's a nice course. It's free. Teaches you the basics. You can get your knife going. Kitchen safety, serve safe, certified is what you get through the course. You just have to do that. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I do have one more round of our sponsors to tell you something about their awesome Colorado products. So please support them just like you support us. And if I haven't told you lately, thank you very much. So for myself, Jay Parker, Greg Hollenbach, Ryan Evans, Dave Olson, Bruz Beers, Jim Pittenger, thank you, Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. I hope he buys that grill. We'll see you on Friday. Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. You know, I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, and we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you can actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120. There's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
You know, everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Rockalitas. Call Ewing Levitt, they'll get you covered.
I go home, I strip down to my skivvies. All right, here we go. I got it. Hey everybody, Steve Gould from Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. When I get my cocktails to go from Golden Moon Speakeasy, I go home, I kick back, and I watch The Modern Eater. Skivvies. Hey, I'm a Marine. It's skivvies, man.